It's recording. They're like, can we move up?
They're backstage waiting for yours truly.
Like the Oscars, they have like the seat fillers, you know?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Which is really odd, because he and I have been fortunate enough to be in the audience of a few award shows, and it's always nice when someone gets up to go present, and then you get a perfect stranger next to you, who you've had a conversation with a person, and now you look at them and you're like, yeah, hi. So
what's going on? What are you? Also, you can't help but feel bad, like when they're ushering you to your seat and you see these young people that are sitting there, the second part of the show. You're like, hey, I'm sorry, you gotta move. You know, you feel bad when they're filling the seat. Like,
they're all dolled up. I mean, they're ready, and it's
young and excited.
Just seat filler. I don't know. Has anybody been a seat filler? Have you?
You have a degree in seat filling? Is that what I just heard? I have a degree in seat filling.
Did you say you have done seat filling? Did you enjoy it? For the Tonys?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's a great way to be able to,
show.
like, you know, and who knows, you might get to sit next to Billy Crystal or something. You're like, hey, Bill, how's it going, buddy?
You might sit on Billy Crystal. You don't see him, he's very small. Good morning, Texas. I love you back. It's great to be back. What's it? It's I love you more than she.
All right, it's not a debate.
I am the son of and husband of an English major, so I love you more than she.
Yeah, all the English majors in the house. I was able to go to Austin and see little kiddos, which was a lot of fun. Austin! Any people up from Austin this weekend? Badass. Are we carpooling down, or what's the story? Just like Have fun on the 35 corridor there. That's going to be a great time.
Just a bunch of longhorns going down the highway.
Did I hear Lubbock over there? No? Okay. Who?
Oh, come on, College Stationers over there? I see some noise. All right, we can do that. That was a blow-up. Sooners. All right. Some Okies. That's all right. That's all right. Anybody from Dallas? Fair enough. Very, very good.
Oh, I guess I missed that one.
Canada! That's your cue.
Yeah, so give it to me again.
Who's a Dallas?
Ah! I feel better.
Who's first time? Who started watching the show less than 5 years ago? Less than 3 years ago. Less than 2 years ago. Less than 1 year ago.
Who's in the wrong room and thought this was the Vampire Diaries?
I thought this was my seat filling class. That's awesome. It always makes me so happy to see and to meet people who are newbies, but welcome to the family.
Thanks.
And also to those who have been here and been with us since the get-go.
You know we love it.
Much love.
Well, cool. That's all I want to see.
That is your favorite part.
It's like
He'll be dining out on that for a week, so that gets him through the next couple of weeks.
I was with the kids yesterday, and my son, Tom, the older one, always wants to see horses, and so he always, in our internet... He always, whenever he wakes up, he always goes, Thomas, do you have any dreams last night? He goes, uh-huh. Well, what do you dream about? Horses. I was like, again, that's every single night you've been alive. You dream about horses. So he wants to see horses, and he wanted to see them, and we were in my office, and I was like, all right. So I go to YouTube, and I plug in horses, and there's like a video of horses doing some sort of dressage, and there's this like dance beat music to it, and so he starts doing this. It's just like, dancing. He goes, Daddy, dance. circles. I was like, so I've been circle dancing, which is nice for quad development.
You're gonna have to add some corners there, and then you'd be square dancing. I don't really think that's square dancing.
It's square horse dancing.
We'll work
If you heard
on
the
that.
music, you cannot properly
Square
dance.
dressage dancing.
It was like Skrillex meets, what is it? Jazzercising?
Prancercising.
Prancercising.
Yeah, let's not talk about Prancer. That's a sore subject. If any of you know,
We had a
Jared's
cat.
ex-cat
We had a yes, we had a cat named Prancer who
had being the operative word there.
he's no longer prancercising on Earth. He's prancercising in cat heaven with the Winchester brother. I guess that would be cat hell, actually. Well, before we jibber jabber on forever.
Too late.
Too late. Let's hear if anybody wants to yell anything and say. Oh, you have mics.
We have mics. Oh, okay.
I saw one hand first, though, right there next to
Who's
you,
got a mic?
in the black. That was the first hand I saw. Shook up. Yes.
I was just wondering, Jared, if you've heard of the new nickname you earned from the mockumentary.
No.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
I didn't see the word of disclosure, I didn't see the mockumentary until after DallasCon. I didn't know it was out, and they were like, yeah, it's been tweeted, so we YouTubed it on the drive to the airport.
Yeah, no, in some circles of the internet, they're now calling you Diva Lecky.
That was the idea. Misha, I don't know if Misha's told you the whole story, but it actually was like a 35-minute mockumentary where it's abundantly obvious that we're all joking, and they cut it down, like half size, so it's no longer really obvious that we're joking. So we just seem like we're assholes. Maybe we are, I don't know.
What's that? All day I can.
That's how he does his close-up. He's sitting there, he's like, Sam.
What's that?
No,
On top of the trailer. Well, it's so I don't, distract from the other actors on set.
except it's eye level with me.
Full disclosure though, I have done yoga one time, and that was the last time. And for some reason I was like, I agreed, it was a friend of mine, I was like, oh, you gotta come, it was just the girl friend of mine, and she was like, oh, you gotta come, no, yeah, actually, yeah. And it was the hot yoga. Bad idea. Just not a good idea for your first time, or any time, really.
And yoga's hot anyways.
And I was about halfway through, after all the questionings of why am I doing this, and this is absolutely ridiculous, and I could see parts of that man that I don't want to ever see in front of me, and then I started to get and it just a wave of nausea hit me, and so I just kind of slowly started to collect my things, and it was just going to sneak out. And the instructor was like, sit down.
Word dog. Sit down, word dog.
Yeah, sit down, we're done. And I'm like, no, I'm going to throw up. And he's like, no, you won't. I'm like, yeah, pal. It's about to be Puke City in here, and it's your studio, so, and he was relentless. He was like, sit down, you will be fine. Sit down, take a drink of water.
Was it
and
Obi-Wan
take
Kenobi?
deep breaths. Yeah, it was like, this is not the puke you're looking for. And so at this point I was like, okay, your class, buddy, your floor, I ain't cleaning it up. And I sat down and I laid down and I basically fell asleep for the rest of the class. But that was my one experience with yoga, so that's...
Did you wake up in the pool of puke?
Pool of sweat.
Pool of sweat.
Which I already was in. And then I didn't actually end up throwing up, but that was the first and last time that ever happened. So.
Yeah, I've been
It's
yoga.
better when it's not hot.
It's much better when it's not hot. Hey, look, I don't knock it it works for some people, it did not work for me.
Or it worked too well.
I have a hard time just staying in a sauna without holding some pose for 10 minutes that I can't ever emulate again. Your buddy next to you is like, no. None of it works.
It also wasn't his hidden hand. It was the.
See, I can relate to that. Anyway.
Who else has a mic? I know the mic has been passed, or hasn't. Anybody have a mic?
How about right there? Yeah, make it easy.
Yes, very easy. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't remember what season it was, but Sam was having the demon, or the demon magic training, and right at the very end.
Probably 4.
Okay.
I guess, because that's when I was doing demon magic.
Right. Thank you. I mean, he was there. When you got stabbed in the back and you went completely limp.
You mean my body went?
Thank you.
Clarification.
Good thing Jensen was there to get.
It's a G-rated show. Wait, that was season 2.
Yeah.
But I wasn't doing demon magic training. That was the yellow-eyed demon child. The original Hunger Games.
Yeah, that was.
That one.
I lost. I got stabbed in the back.
You did. You died instantly.
Yeah.
But during rehearsal, did you guys like do that on purpose? Because Jensen, I mean, your acting was ridiculously amazing to both of you.
Well, thank you.
I mean,
Wait a second. I was acting dead.
No.
Which my dog can do.
That was her going. That was her going. Vincent, you were great. Jared, you were also really great. I mean, you were playing dead, so it's.
No, but
What's the question?
okay. When your head snapped back, like, did you know that? Did you know that he was going to do that? Because you caught him. You're like,
Me?
was that like all practice?
When
or was
I
it spur of the moment?
ran and like slid
Yeah.
and held him before he fell over.
Yeah, but his head just like.
It probably wasn't practice.
No, that wasn't practice. That was just.
That was spur of the moment.
It just worked out. No.
Good lord.
Well, I knew him well enough to know that if he goes down, he's gonna go limp. Like he's
Right.
gonna go down. I gotta get there to catch him, whichever way he falls, and that just happened to be the way he fell. So I caught him to,
Throughout the entire scenes, I mean, that one just really stuck out for me.
Oh, wow.
That's really cool. That's the first time anybody's ever talked. That's the first time in 200 something episodes anybody's ever talked about that. So that's cool. Thank you. It means the show and the different shows mean something different to everybody. So it's neat to kind of see what's, throw something at the wall and see what sticks. Yeah. That's cool. In the yellow. I saw that yellow first. Yes. Yellow sweater. Yes, but you can yell it.
But you just yell out your question. Just yell it out.
Yeah. No, not you. That's my broken shoulder. It went limp again.
Medic.
My question is, oh my gosh. I know how you guys started the show like not married and no kids. So how has it changed, like going from not being like bachelors to being married with kids? Like how has it changed?
Well,
Obviously, scheduling has changed.
yeah, the scheduling's been big. I know for me in the first, 7 seasons, I think I had Tom season 7. So in the first 7 seasons, I was like, man, I need some time off so I can rest. Now, I'm like, man, I need to go back to work so I can rest. Because after circle dancing and stuff, and I just get called to set. I can only prancercise for so long. You know what's funny? And this, not that Jensen doesn't have a similar experience being a father, but I have such a weird, I don't want to say unique, it's both unique, but I now have 2 sons that are brothers. And so it's funny to see like how, well, I've been doing this show for 10 years about 2 brothers, right? And like 2 brothers that their father kind of effed up, but they turned out all right. And now I get to kind of see in my boys bits of Sam and Dean, and having known these characters for so long, I get to kind of try and make them better for that. And so I know that's been outside of all just the normal fatherhood and the way it makes your heart double in size. Kind of getting to see firsthand parts of these characters and parts of what I want them to be as brothers and help it kind of sustain. There you go. Okay. Just wait till he answers. We'll all cry.
Oh, I mean, it's very similar. I mean, he and I are fortunate enough to kind of take this journey together, you know, not just the supernatural journey, but also becoming husbands, becoming fathers, and so it's nice to have somebody to bounce it off of. And then just the other day, it was one of those kind of step back, scratch your head, and be like, how did this happen? I get a picture. Our wives were hanging out, so were our children, and they have one of those double strollers, so that they can push around both Tom and Shep. And I get a picture of the double stroller, and it's Tom and my daughter JJ in the stroller, and I was like, oh my gosh, dude, these are our kids now, riding around in the same stroller together. What happened to us?
And I'm gonna sell them out a little bit. I got that same picture from my wife. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I'm on the way home, and I get a text from Jensen. It's like, these are our kids. I was like, don't go all cheesy on me. No chick flick moments. Huh? It was nice to turn that around on.
But it is indeed funny that he and I are both like, oh, we got to go back to work so we can actually get some rest. So there's been a lot of changes, but the nice constant has been the fact that we can always bounce it off of each other. So, yeah. Right there, the black T-shirt. Yes.
The Dean Winchester shirt.
See?
I have a fun question for y'all. If you two, and I want you to answer, ever got a Steve Friday moment with Misha and y'all switched bodies with him, what would the first thing you do?
With Misha, not Castiel.
I know what I want to do because I've done it before. I'd want to get on his Twitter and start writing untrue things. To get him in trouble with all of his minions. So that's what I go straight to like, sweet, I don't like people, I hate dogs, Tattoos.
Yeah, tattoo the forehead easily, instantly.
I get a tattoo of my face on his face. Entrance only.
I'm glad you thought about this.
It's early. What's in that coffee?
Yes. Okay.
What dream roles do you want to play? What roles have both of you long to play but never been able to play?
Clint Eastwood.
You know what you want to play?
I would never give Chris Evans the satisfaction of being, I dreamed of being that Captain America. You got it, buddy, fair and square, good on you. Man, I don't know.
You know what? I think I'd like you, if I can answer for you, I'd like you to do some comedy stuff. Mine has changed. Mine is a work in progress. But funny enough, kind of touching on an earlier question, I'd like to play a father. I'd love to play a father. I think it's important. And I think it'd be fun. And I'll have a little bit of experience. And I'd love to play a good father. Not like a Full House father, but like a John Winchester. Just leave, yeah. Good to see you. I'm out.
What about you, Jim?
Look good, boys.
I don't know. I don't know if there's any one specific role. I mean, if there was one that I could go back and maybe redo, I wouldn't want to redo it though, because that's one of the reasons why I like it so much, is because it was done right the first time. But I really, I think I've said this before, Westerns would be a really, really fun thing. I think I'd like to do something like that, but if I was going to pick a role, I think it'd have to be like Indiana Jones or something like that.
But now that you say redo it, I would have loved to have had DiCaprio's part in The Departed.
Nice guys.
What a cool, creepy,
Thank
like
you.
sink your teeth into something. Thank you. Right here in the red.
I'm just curious.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
that is
heck yes, ma'am. Thank you much. Thank you much.
Yeah, it didn't do much for us, so I mean, we'll.
Give the chance to redo it.
Yeah, I just recently relocated my family to Austin, actually. And it wasn't because of him. So don't get your hopes up. I don't think it's all weird now, because it's not.
And
Too late. Yep, now our kids are riding around the same stroller together. Way to go, Ackles.
And the zip line between our houses, the structure was already there. I mean, the foundation was there.
Yes. Yeah, we just strung up the wire, so
We had extra wire.
we don't even need phones anymore. We just use the soup cans.
Purple monkey dishwasher.
There was, there were many reasons.
From Simpsons. Purple monkey dishwasher? Yes. Can I get a?
Yeah, there were many reasons why I wanted to come back. Obviously I've got a lot of family that live both in Dallas and around Texas. My wife grew up in southern Louisiana. Little Cajun love over there. And so she actually has a lot of family. Her dad is from Dallas, so she's visiting her side of the family today, actually. So there's a lot of family. We wanted to be closer to that. And I have, including him, I've got 3 of my groomsmen that live in Austin. So I instantly got a social network there that I didn't really have living out in California. The kind of friends that I've grown up with and stuff. It was kind of I wanted to get back to that, and I wanted to raise my kid in that environment. So.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, the shenanigans continuously happen.
They're always happening.
It's just whether or not we get them documented. Is whether or not I will say that I am still not fearful, but I still don't really understand or have a grasp of this Twitter world. And I mean, I've posted a couple of pictures, and I've tried to say something witty with them, but to me, I feel a lot of pressure of like, oh my gosh, I have to say something witty every day. And maybe I don't, maybe I don't feel witty, and I'm like, I've got to search out some cool thing to take a picture of and then post it. So I've tried to be like, don't pressure yourself into Twittering, just let it come naturally. So if there are long stretches of time between posts, that's just me not pressuring myself to post it. It's not that I've forgotten how to do it, although maybe it is a little bit.
And then him coming up and saying, going like, hey, should I tweet? You're going, do it tomorrow. Do it tomorrow. Don't rush.
Oh yeah, every one of them I'm like, hey, am I doing this right? I have like Twitter approval from either him or somebody very close.
Are people going to see this?
I don't, somebody's going to see this, right? Am I saying it right? Am I doing the hashtag thing right? Because I don't. Is it at hashtag at? So I'm still getting a grip on it, but yeah, it's kind of fun.
It's fun.
You have to understand that we were shooting in that direction, and so that's why the alley was completely clear, and there was.
Because there are people also closing off the roads down there
Right.
to make sure people aren't.
So, and when they yelled cut, I think they were just flipping the lens. We were gonna go to a bigger lens size, and I just turned around, and then just kind of sat down and leaned against the wall, and was checking my phone, and our B camera operator, Brian Rose, you know, it was all perfectly lit, the alley, and I was just sitting there, and he just was like, oh, that's a cool picture, and snapped a picture with his phone, and then he texted it to me while I was sitting there. And his text was, you need something to read? I guess he thought I was taking a crap in the alley.
Which he was. That's what we're tweeting next week, is that
right? And I was like, and I asked him, I was like, this is actually a pretty cool pic. Can I throw this? I'm gonna Twitter it. And he was like, yeah, great. Twitter. I'm gonna post it. So I did, and then like this was like maybe 5 hours later, Jared shows up because I was like enjoying your day off because he didn't come in till later. So he comes in later and he's like, dude, we've got to do the reciprocal to the thing, and I was like,
because that's also the way it really did look facing the other direction, because all the camera equipment would have been facing Jensen. So
yeah, there were flags and cameras and crew and I mean, within 10 feet of me, but it just looked like I was in an alley by myself. So then we did we restaged it exactly the way it did the opposite. It's like, dude, I'm literally right here.
Yeah, we'll do more. That's fun. Yeah.
So they say most people have skeletons in their closet. Is it true that Master Chow has a graveyard?
I can only imagine. He probably has a graveyard in his closet, or skeletons in his graveyard. He probably has all of the above.
He has a graveyard in his closet, but it is a trick to lure more skeletons to him.
One can only imagine. I dare not go down that road.
Yeah, we don't project to know or pretend to know what goes on in Master Chow's life.
How much of that was ad-libbed and how much of it was actually scripted? Did you guys have some fun with it?
It was situationally scripted, and all of the dialogue was ad-libbed. So basically it was like, hey, let's have you be here talking about this, which is really the way like a lot of reality shows are done. You know, lots of people are like, oh my gosh, she's such a bitch, and she's such a diva, or whatever it is. And the producers tell them, it's like, you need to go get in a fight with this person, because we need drama on the show. So that's essentially what Misha was doing. He's like, okay, I want you to be a jerk, and I want you to get up on your trailer and just do whatever it is that you think he would be doing. And I'm like, yeah, I got it, no problem. So the situations were thought out, but the dialogue was all improv.
And it would be in between setups. I mean, we'd be doing a scene, and he'd come in and be like, hey, you ready for that scene where you drive up and like you're not letting anybody talk to you because they're Canadian? I'm like, yeah, sure, let me change back into that shirt. So I changed back into the shirt and go and do it. It was a lot of fun. It was a fun way to kind of...
It was very loose, very unscripted, but it was, fun.
Hopefully, thank you. Hopefully the full cut, it might not be as crisp, but hopefully more footage comes out. I told me
I like the interviews with Carver. For a guy who doesn't get much screen time, he sure lit it up.
It's the inner actor. Yes?
I had the honor of being in during season here, and it's my phone that you're looking at this.
Yes. Yes.
So I was wondering, how do y'all, why do you keep going back to NHU? We know we love watching you, but what is it about NHU that you guys enjoy going to and bringing more people each time you're there?
Obviously, Operation Smile is a huge, a charity with a great cause, and something that can be so easily fixed. And Zach's a great dude. I know that's why I always came back, is because, and the reason I did it in the first place, was because I enjoyed Zach. It's like, hey man, I'm raising some money. If you have any time between getting off stage at Comic-Con and being rushed to the airport, I'd love to have you. I was like, you got it. And obviously they're buddies, and so each time we go back, next year it's going to be a panel of like 35 of us. But it's fun. It's a great cause. It's a cool venue to go there and be in the outfield of a professional baseball stadium. Is also, you feel like a rock star. So, but mainly that's it for the cause. There are a lot of people that ask a lot of us in the Twitterverse or in the otherverse, but to be able to do something kind of to get back is a cool opportunity.
Yeah, it was, Zach's that's a good friend. And he obviously raising money and awareness for very cool projects. But, at the end of the day, it was, he went and did it one year and he was like, dude, you gotta come try this. You gotta check this out. It's, it's not just a great cause, it's not just, good people, but it's a really great venue. And because being at Comic-Con, it can be a little corporate. And, when we're in H Hall and it's, a sea of people and we're up there being asked very strategic questions by a moderator and all of this stuff, it's nice to come to a place where there's about this many people, we can just be kind of loose and have fun so yeah, like this is the kind of situation we like, because we can just kind of field questions and have fun. It's a closer interaction with you guys, and it's all for a good cause. So
and if I can hang out with Aisha Tyler,
yeah.
It's also neat because we got to do a 4-person stage talk, which is.
She said she used the first one to send that picture to her email.
Yes.
It was the subject was Candy Jensen.
Candy Jensen.
Yes.
Love it. Yes. You're pointing somebody, whoever you're pointing. Yes, I can't. Blinded by the light. How are you, buddy?
My mom wants you to sing the Eye of the Tiger.
What was it?
My mom wants to hear Jensen sing the Eye of the Tiger.
Sing the Eye of the Tiger.
He'd sing it for you, but I don't know about for your mom.
You know what? I need the whole band up here. The thing is, I never actually sing it. I just throw my leg up and pretend that I'm playing guitar.
The leg tar.
The leg tar.
Maybe the big stage. We'll see what magic brings. Steph, are you calling us? All right, guys. We love you all. We'll see you guys later. Thank you.
Love watching you, but what is it about NHQ that you guys enjoy going to and bringing more people each time you're there?
Obviously, Operation Smile is a huge, a charity with a great cause, and something that can be so easily fixed. And Zach's a great dude. I know that's why I always came back, is because, and the reason I did it in the first place, was because I enjoyed Zach. It's like, hey man, I'm raising some money. If you have any time between getting off stage at Comic-Con and getting rushed to the airport, I'd love to have you. I was like, you got it. And obviously they're buddies, and so each time we go back, next year it's going to be a panel of like 35 of us. But it's fun. It's a great cause. It's a cool venue to go there and be in the outfield of a professional baseball stadium. Is also, you feel like a rock star. So, but mainly that's it for the cause. There are a lot of people that ask a lot of us in the Twitterverse or in the other verse, but to be able to do something kind of give back is a cool opportunity.
Yeah, it was, Zach's that's a good friend. And he obviously raising money and awareness for very cool projects. But, at the end of the day, it was, he went and did it one year and he was like, dude, you gotta come try this. You gotta check this out. It's, it's not just a great cause, it's not just, good people, but it's a really great venue. And because being at Comic-Con, it can be a little corporate. And, when we're in H Hall and it's, a sea of people and we're up.
Misha, I don't know if Misha's told you the whole story, but it actually was like a 35-minute mockumentary where it's abundantly obvious that we're all joking, and they cut it down like half size, so it's no longer really obvious that we're joking. So we just seem like we're assholes. Maybe we are, I don't know.
What's that? All day I can.
That's how he does his close-up. He's just sitting there, he's like, Sam.
What's that?
No,
On top of the trailer. Well, it's so I don't, distract from the other actors on set.
except it's eye level with me.
Full disclosure though, I have done yoga one time, and that was the last time. And for some reason I was like, I agreed. It was a friend of mine. I was like, oh, you gotta come. It was just the girl friend of mine, and she was like, oh, you gotta come. No, yeah, actually, yeah. And it was the hot yoga. Bad idea. Just not a good idea for your first time or any time, really.
And yoga's hot anyways.
And I was about halfway through, you know, after all the questions of why am I doing this, and this is absolutely ridiculous, and I can see parts of that man that I don't want to ever see in front of
Longhorns going down the highway.
Did I hear Lubbock over there? No? Okay.
Who? Oh, come on, College Stationers over there? I see some noise. All right, we can do that. That was a blow-up. Sooners. All right. Some Okies. That's all right. That's all right. Anybody from Dallas? Fair enough. Very, very good.
Oh, I guess I missed that one.
Canada! That's your cue.
Yeah, so give it to me again.
Who's a Dallas?
I feel better.
Who's first time? Who started watching the show less than 5 years ago? Less than 3 years ago. Less than 2 years ago. Less than 1 year ago.
Who's in the wrong room and thought this was the Vampire Diaries?
I thought this was my seat filling class. That's awesome. It always makes me so happy to see and to meet people who are newbies, but welcome to the family.
And also to those who have been here and been with us since the get-go. It's not that I've forgotten how to do it, although maybe it is a little bit.
And then him coming up and set and going like, hey, should I do it? Going, do it tomorrow. Do it tomorrow. Don't rush.
Oh yeah, every one of them I'm like, hey, am I doing this right? I have like Twitter approval from either him or somebody very close.
Are people going to see this?
Somebody's going to see this, right? Am I saying it right? Am I doing the hashtag thing right? Because I don't. Is it hashtag at? So I'm still getting a grip on it, but yeah, it's kind of fun.
It's fun.
You have to understand that we were shooting in that direction, and so that's why the alley was completely clear, and there was.
Because there are people also closing off the roads down there
Right.
to make sure people aren't.
So, and when they yelled cut, they were gonna, I think they were just flipping the lens. We were gonna go to a bigger lens size, and I just turned around, and then just kind of sat down and leaned against the wall, and was checking my phone, and our B camera operator Brian Rose. You know, it was all perfectly lit, the alley, and I was just sitting there, and he just was like, "Oh, that's a cool picture," and took a snap.
Okay. Just wait till he answers. We'll all cry.
Oh, I mean, it's very similar. I mean, he and I are fortunate enough to kind of take this journey together. You know, not just the supernatural journey, but also becoming husbands, becoming fathers, and so it's nice to have somebody to bounce it off of. And then just the other day, it was one of those kind of step back, scratch your head, and be like, "How did this happen?" I get a picture. Our wives were hanging out, so were our children, and they have one of those double strollers so that they can push around both Tom and Shep. And I get a picture of the double stroller, and it's Tom and my daughter JJ in the stroller. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude, these are our kids now, riding around in the same stroller together. What happened to us?
And I'm going to sell them out a little bit. I got that same picture from my wife. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I'm on the way home, and I get a text from Jensen. It's like, these are our kids. I was like, don't go all cheesy on me. No chick flick moments. Huh? It was nice to turn that around on.
But it is indeed funny that he and I are both like, oh, we got to go back to work so we can actually get some rest. Oh, the shenanigans continuously happen.
They're always happening.
It's just whether or not we get them documented as well.
Whether or not someone takes a picture of it.
I will say that I am still not fearful, but I still don't really understand or have a grasp of this Twitter world. And I mean, I've posted a couple of pictures, and I've tried to say something witty with them, but to me, I feel a lot of pressure of like, oh my gosh, I have to say something witty every day. And maybe I'm like, yes, maybe I don't feel witty, and I've got to like search out some cool thing to take a picture of and then post it. So I've tried to be like, don't pressure yourself into Twittering, just let it come naturally. So if there are long stretches of time between posts, that's just me not pressuring myself to post it. It's not that I've forgotten how to do it, although maybe it is a little bit.
And then him coming up and set and going like, hey, should I tweet? You're going, do it tomorrow. Do it tomorrow. Don't rush.
Oh yeah, every one of them I'm like, hey, am I doing this right? I have like Twitter approval from either him.
Fun question for y'all. If you two, and I'll want you to answer, ever got a keep writing moment with Misha and y'all switched lines with him, what would be the first thing you would do?
With Misha, not Castiel.
I know what I want to do because I've done it before. I'd want to get on his Twitter and start writing untrue things. To get him in trouble with all of his minions. So that's what I go straight to like, sweet, I don't like people. I hate dogs. Tattoos.
Yeah, I tattooed the forehead easily, instantly.
I get a tattoo of my face on his face. Entrance only.
I'm glad you thought about this.
It's early. What's in that coffee?
Yes. Okay.
What dream roles do you want to play? What roles have both of you long played but never been able to play?
Pretty cool pick. Can I throw this? I'm gonna Twitter it. And he was like, yeah, great. Twitter. I'm gonna post it. So I did, and then like this was like maybe 5 hours later. Jared shows up, because I was like enjoying your day off, because he didn't come in till later. So he comes in later and he's like, dude, we've got to do the reciprocal to the thing, and I was like...
Because that's also the way it really did look facing the other direction, because all the camera equipment would have been facing Jensen, so...
Yeah, there were flags and cameras and crew, and within 10 feet of me. But it just looked like I was in an alley by myself. So then we did we restaged it exactly the way it did the opposite. It's like, dude, I'm literally right here.
Yeah, we'll do more. That's fun. Yeah.
So they say most people have skeletons in their closet.
Is it true that Master Chow has a graveyard?
I can only imagine. He probably has a graveyard in his closet, or skeletons in his graveyard. He probably has all of the above.
He has a graveyard in his closet, but it is a trick to lure more skeletons to him.
One can only imagine. I dare not go down that road.
Yeah, we don't project to know or pretend to know what goes on in Master Chow's life.
Where it's abundantly obvious that we're all joking, and they cut it down, like half size, so it's no longer really obvious that we're joking. So we just seem like we're assholes. Maybe we are, I don't know.
What's that? All day I can hold that.
That's how he does his close-up. He's sitting there, he's like, Sam.
What's that?
No,
On top of the trailer. Well, it's so I don't, distract from the other actors on set.
except it's eye level with me.
Full disclosure, Full disclosure though, I have done yoga one time, and that was the last time. And for some reason I was like, I agreed, it was a friend of mine, I was like, oh, you gotta come. It was just the girlfriend of mine, and she was like, oh, you gotta come. No, yeah, actually, yeah. And it was the hot yoga. Bad idea. Just not a good idea for your first time or any time, really.
And yoga's hot anyways.
And I was about halfway through, you know, after all the questions of why am I doing this, and this is absolutely ridiculous, and I can see parts of that man that I don't want to ever see in front of me, and then I started to get and it just nausea, just